All right, so I'm in the cul-de-sac and I have 3219 Wellington listed in the Princeton Lakes Subdivision. So I know I was starting with houses and subdivisions off of Butner Road, but this is right down the street. And yeah, this is a great opportunity. I've sold this exact same floor plan in here at an undisclosed address. Got my clients originally into it with a $100 down payment. Believe they could have gotten like $10,000 towards renovations with their loan, bought it for like $100,000. And so this is my listing here. There's a video tour of what a home with TLC would look like. So that one, I mean, you need some paint, need some carpet, need some exterior paint and upgrades on the light fixtures and whatnot. But the well conditioned or properties in good condition over here are selling for like 330 plus, 340, 350, and that one's listed at just 300. So the way it works is you get a loan for, let's say, 330. You pay the seller 300. The lender puts the other $30,000 into a escrow account. Your contractor goes in there, gets the renovations done. Bank comes in, approves the renovations, and gives them their money. And it's all financed into your loan. So you don't have to have big pockets to renovate something. And there are loans that are easy to qualify for to get that. But wanted to give you a tour of this kind of side. What some large subdivisions do is they have different phases. So this is like the entry phase. I've sold a home, I'm getting close to it, but I'm not going to point it out. That's the same floor plan. Like I say, my clients loved it, got into it with a $100 down payment option, and then ended up showing a house on this street that didn't have that bonus room that my current listing has and that previous home has. And what ended up happening is she was like, man, I like this house, I like the neighborhood, but if I only had a bonus room on the main. And so she needed an at-home office. And I called my clients and I was able to make it happen. Hooked them up. So both my clients have bought that house and live in it. And pretty happy with everything over here. It's real close to shopping, real close to the airport, real close to getting into the city. I'm probably like 15 minutes from hitting Grady from right here, real close to the expressway. Entry-level homes, 2,500 square feet is a good average for these. Some 3 bedrooms, some 4 bedrooms. The listing I have is unique, even though you need to replace the hardwoods on the main level because of water damage. It's still pretty nice because there's all hardwoods upstairs. So some of these homes do have some nicer features and upgrades on them as well. Nice flat backyards. Interest rates. The thing about those, and I heard this, you know, really smart client that I've helped make a crap ton of money over the years. Just break down what her strategy is to buy something now where there's not a lot of competition. And yeah, rates are quote high, but historically speaking, they're actually probably supposed to be around this level. And she understands that when rates go down, it's going to be a feeding frenzy. It's going to be really difficult to buy. So her lease is not up for another year or two, but she knows it's smart to start looking now. So if you have to look at an entry-level home, these might not be as big as some of the other sections of this subdivision that have, you know, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 houses on finished basements and stuff like that. But if you start here, even with the rates where they are, you have to have a place to live. Your rent's 100% interest, and you're paying a mortgage, but you're just paying your landlord's mortgage. But what's going to end up happening is when rates go down, more and more people are going to come into the market. They're still not building enough inventory, supply and demand. These houses are going to be going for $400,000+ when rates come back down. Wouldn't you like to have a nice 6-figure chunk of the over $8 million I've put into the pockets of other people the last 2.5 years? I'm passionate about helping others create wealth through real estate. And so you should click that like button and subscribe. Get some more tips and tricks on how you can create wealth through real estate. And it's not just money. Sometimes it's being able to come home to a beautiful home like I'm about to go to after a long day of work. Anyways, get back to the video. Click the link. It's actually smart to get into them now while there's no competition. You can actually negotiate better terms. There's tons of 100% financing programs out there, and in a market like this, you actually might be able to get a seller to pay some closing costs, if not all. And when rates come back down, if you want to upgrade, this is how you get your $100,000 down payment to get into a nicer home. That's how people do it. My clients that I first sold in here with the $100 down payment program, entry-level home, perfect for where they were in life, but they knew they wanted to increase and get better. They now live in a $700,000 home in Smyrna. Got to start somewhere. So that's just the idea of what the entry level of Princeton Lakes looks like. We're going to look over to my right behind the clubhouse. I'm going to show you real quick is the mid-range level. I have an amazing story, not amazing, but interesting. I'll say that. Interesting story about the couple of houses I've sold over there in the entry level or the mid-range level. Really nice clubhouse. Had a client invite us over. I think it brought Weston with me, or maybe I just needed some paperwork and met them over here. They're hanging out at the pool, tennis courts. And the way clubhouses work, you can actually rent them for parties. Often it's a deposit, but if you give it back in good condition, you sometimes get that deposit back. I can't speak specifically to how they do it over here, but that's often how they do it. So basketball courts. Yeah, so the mid-range, sold a couple of houses. I think both of those houses back when it was more likely. Ooh, the sun is messing it up. Sorry, guys. But listen to this. I want to say it was 160. This is when the market had crashed. I got my guy $20,000 in down payment assistance. Daryl James. I think he'll appreciate the name drop. He's the client I was on House Hunters with. And again, you got to start somewhere. And $20,000, I think it was $20,000 in down payment assistance. A few years later, we sold it, I think, to something. Made a little change. Ended up selling him a condo, got him into that 100% financing. And, you can watch House Hunters, hear his story about how he's investing in real estate now. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. We'll do a tour of the mid-range level in the future. I'll do a tour of the higher end level. You used to be able to get a house over there for around $400. Then it used to be around $500. But if it's in good condition and well cared for, they're going for much more than that. My wife and I actually looked at a few over here in the higher end range. And I think they were in the low fours, high threes when we looked 6-7 years ago. But yeah, this is kind of like the main thoroughfare over to the left. Again, hands-free on the camera. That's the mid-range level to my left. And the entry-level homes are to my right. Something, I guess, to go ahead and wrap this up. That's interesting as well. You wouldn't know it, but there's some newer townhouses in a gated portion over here. A lot of people don't know about those, kind of a little hidden secret. I helped a few people over here get into some homes. So, appreciate it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the tour of the entry-level version of Princeton Lakes over here in Atlanta. Actually, City of Atlanta, pays City of Atlanta taxes, and 15 minutes from downtown.